I hope I can be of... Take care now.
Jesus Christ. Farewell.
Bread, rolls, buns, carrots, that's all for you.
God's blessings.
See you later.
Ah, Hal. Are you going to the meeting with Margrave Jobst as well?
I am. What about Istvan? I assume...
That we didn't catch him? No. Because if we had, you'd be the first one to know. Have no fear. We'll get him eventually.
I hope you're right. Anyway, let's go and see what Jobst wants from us.
My lords, Christ's blessings on you all.
And on you, Lord Capon.
And this is my son, Henry.
I didn't know you had a son, Sir Radzig.
Came as a bit of a surprise to young Henry, too.
This gentleman here is John II of Liechtenstein, a member of my council.
I'm honored, gentlemen.
Come join us. Margrave Jobst was just about to tell us the reason for his visit. Your Grace?
I'm sure we're all agreed, Your Graces, that all this unrest must come to an end. This kingdom needs a king.
The question is, which king?
My cousin, Wenceslaus IV, who is being held in captivity.
I have to confess, my lord, that your answer surprises me a little. If I'm correctly informed, until recently you sided with your other cousin, Sigismund.
That I cannot deny, and I have always stated my position plainly. But times have changed.
How have they changed, Your Grace?
Sir, there is one thing on which we undoubtedly concur. That King Wenceslaus, unfortunately, did not inherit his father's gift for governing. Sadly, his failures have cost Bohemia, the nobles, and our whole Luxembourg family a great deal of money and effort.
How did the king let it go so far, damn it?
It's in his temperament. He cares only for wine, women, and the hunt. A king, in fact, who never wanted to be king.
Then why didn't he just let his brother have the crown?
Young sir, the crown weighs heavy when there are duties to be performed, but to surrender it means giving up great privileges too.
But he did surrender power to his brother. When things started getting out of hand, Wenceslaus appealed to Sigismund for help in restoring order.
What you're saying, Wenceslas has invited him here?
This is starting to make my head spin.
Actually, it makes sense when you think about it. Sigismund wanted to re-establish the power of the whole House of Luxembourg. He thought if he helped Wenceslaus win the imperial crown, in return his brother would help him become the king of the Romans. and leave the actual reign of Bohemia and the empire to him. Sigismund would govern, while Wenceslaus could carry on doing what he was best at, enjoying the life of the imperial court.
Why wasn't Wenceslaus crowned Holy Roman Emperor long ago? He was already elected King of the Romans. All he had to do was go and let the Pope put the damn imperial crown on his head.
Who knows? Maybe he'd prefer hunting and consorting with bathhouse wenches to spending time with the Pope.
Well, so would I must admit.
Sigismund's plan seemed sound enough, but it didn't quite work out, did it?
It worked for a while. He and his brother reached an agreement. Sigismund took over administration of the kingdom and began planning Wenceslaus's journey to Rome for the imperial coronation. But then Wenceslaus realized he would just be a puppet with a crown.
I must say, Margrave Jobst, Wenceslaus and Prokop behave rather like naughty children in need of a good clout about the ears.
Sigismund would agree. He was already planning his rule of Bohemia, and all of a sudden, the rug was pulled from under him. I'd say he lost his patience and decided he'd drag Wenceslaus to the coronation kicking and screaming if he had to. Just like a naughty child, as you say.
So he abducted him and your brother Prokop too, if I heard correctly.
Correct.
And you helped him do it, if I heard correctly.
Yes, your graces, it's true. I was there when Sigismund abducted Prokop. I thought everything could somehow be settled, that we could make my brother see sense. But Sigismund just wanted to put an end to the dispute once and for all, whatever the cost. There was nothing I could do to stop him. And that's one of the reasons why I'm here. The worst of it is that it was all for nothing. Instead of putting a stop to the revolt, it escalated it, and the result is this chaos we have today.
That's true enough, sir. But I must admit now, I'm not sure what your position is. The king is incompetent, but we must protect him?
The simple truth, gentlemen, is that for all of Wenceslaus's faults, we have no one else.
So we'll have to make do with his idleness.
People like him, though.
But what can we do now? Sigismund has the League of Lords behind him. Otto von Bergolf, Heinrich von Rosenberg.
The situation has gotten completely out of control. Now even the nobles of the League of Lords are realizing that Sigismund wasn't the right choice.
So now Bergolf is on your side. Are we to assemble an army together with him and face Sigismund on the field of battle?
We're not in Hungary now. Such affairs may be settled elegantly, without unnecessary hostilities or expenses. I have negotiated an alliance with the Hungarian bishops, the Polish, and of course the Czech nobility, against Sigismund. Every day he is losing the ground under his feet, and that's why I need your help too.
What kind of help, though? Sigismund has a massive army, and Rosenberg, Berghof, and Prague are behind him. Do you have an army you could face him with?
But that's not what I mean at all. There's been a revolt against Sigismund in Hungary, partly due to my efforts. And now he'll have to choose whether he wants to gain the Bohemian crown, which is a very risky enterprise, or hold on to the Hungarian one. He can't have both. And there's a tough struggle awaiting him in Hungary. I'm not sure he'll win, and Rosenberg and Berghof know it too. They're not stupid. If the Bohemian nobility stands together, they will turn.
We are men of little consequence, Margrave. Radzig here lost everything because of his alliance with Wenceslaus. Sir Divish came within a hair of the same fate. Even Rattay is defenseless against Sigismund and the League of Lords.
What's more, your grace, King Wenceslaus languishes in captivity in Vienna. He can't rule too well from there.
And what do you propose? To sit with your arms folded till the Bohemian lands are turned to ashes like Skalitz? We have to put a stop to this senseless war.
And do you know, sir, what the true position of the League of Lords is?
I'm not on the best of terms with them at this moment, so you'll have to ask them yourselves.
Yes. Why not? I'll go and visit Bergov at his castle and we'll see what he tells me.
You know, that's not such a bad idea, young sir.
True. Though a little risky.
I doubt Bergov would harm a blue-blooded envoy. And you can find out what he has to say about developments and what the League of Lords is planning. Then we'll decide what to do next.
I'll help you compose a letter to him.
I'd like Henry to come with me.
Why not? He's proven himself an able investigator, and he'll also be a good bodyguard if anything should happen.
And I'll send Sir John here to Gutenberg to be my eyes and ears there. I believe both your reports will help us get a better grip on the situation.
When can you set out?
Just as soon as I've packed my things.
Excellent. Margrave Jobst and I will draft a letter. Get ready, and we'll meet back here.
I expect it would be best to write it in your name as Lord of Lifeland.
Quite so, Margrave.
What exactly am I to write?
Oh, what isn't really the issue. The question is how. We need to learn where they
So,
stand on
it looks like you're off on a mission.
Yes, I can't wait.
I don't want to dampen your spirits, my boy, but watch out. These are evil times, and who knows what can happen along the way. Not to mention that Bergov is no saint.
Don't worry.
I know. You've shown you can fend for yourself, but do take care. You'll be traveling as Lord Capon's bodyguard. You'll be there to make sure nothing untoward happens to him. Keep your eyes peeled and your ears wide open. What Bergov tells you is one thing, but what you see may be quite another.
Rest assured, Father.
And don't get embroiled in anything else. Just hand over the letter, hear out his reply, and return.
Yes.
Very well. Bergov is at Trotsky Castle. I think you'll find it quite an eye-opener. It's one of the finest castles in the land. It's 3 days' ride from here, so unless you hit a snag along the way, you'll be back soon enough. Any questions?
I'm getting a bit lost in the Luxembourg lineage. It all seems a bit too tangled.
The Luxembourgs have ruled the Empire and Bohemia for almost 100 years now. Emperor Charles brought this land to prominence. When he was in power, things had never been so good. Wenceslaus and Sigismund are his sons, but by different mothers. Jobst and Prokop are their cousins. They were entrusted with governing Moravia. But instead, they've been in a bitter armed feud for years, and now Sigismund's fallen out with Wenceslaus. Wenceslaus also had another brother, the youngest, John of Görlitz, who was most probably poisoned. They seem like a hot-blooded lot. It's hard to keep up with their affairs, since they tend to change their alliances from one day to the next.
Who is he really, this Jobst?
The cousin of King Wenceslaus. He's the Margrave of Moravia. I admit I don't know what to make of him myself. Until recently, he was allied with the League of Lords. For a time, he even served Rupert of the Palatinate against the king. And now suddenly, he's reversed his position. I don't know what led him to do it, and one can't help being suspicious. It's best to keep a watchful eye on him. But he really is the leader of the resistance against Sigismund these days. We'll just have to see how it all turns out.
I'm a bit concerned so many people seem to think so little of King Wenceslaus. You knew him, didn't you? What's he really like?
Well, there's no straightforward answer to that question. He certainly makes a great hunting and drinking companion, but he can be very fiery and impetuous when things don't go how he'd like them. He never had much of a head for high office. He finds it tiresome. But once a man's grasped the scepter, it's hard to let it go again. You can't just abscond. You've seen for yourself what happens when he disappears for a few months. Better a bad but legitimate king than a bloody war over the throne.
Who is this Prokop that Jobst spoke of?
Jobst's brother, the king's cousin. He and Jobst warred over Moravian supremacy for years. Then they were allies for a while, betrayed Wenceslaus and sided with Rupert of the Palatinate. But after Sigismund abducted Wenceslaus, Prokop fomented a revolt against him, and Sigismund had him captured. Politics. Make of it what you will. I, for one, can't make head or tail of it most of the time.
The League of Lords and that Berghoff we're off to see. Who are they exactly?
The lords of the powerful houses. Heinrich of Rosenberg, Otto of Berghoff, Heinrich of Radetz, and others. They're unhappy with the way their influence declined after Wenceslaus surrounded himself with the lesser orders of nobility. They abducted the king years ago and made him bow to their will. They got away with it that time, and now they've joined forces with Sigismund and done it again. But now it seems that Sigismund's behavior is starting to rub them up the wrong way, so they may well be thinking twice. We'll see what Berghoff has to say.
I don't know all that much about Sigismund.
He's the king's younger brother and king of Hungary in his own right. 7 years ago, he led a crusade against the Turks and was defeated at Nicopolis. Some say it was due to the recklessness of the French knights, most of whom were mercilessly slaughtered. Sigismund is ambitious and capable. He might well make a better ruler than Wenceslaus, but he's arrogant, and to our misfortune, brutal. Not long ago, he himself was held captive by the Hungarian nobility. They dislike him as much as some of the Czech and German noblemen do his brother Wenceslas. Ironically, Wenceslas joined forces with Jobst to liberate him. And now this is how Sigismund repays his brother. There's no doubt about it, God does move in mysterious ways.
Rupert of the Palatinate. That's a name I hadn't heard before today.
Rupert is the Prince-Elector of the Palatinate.
What's a Prince-Elector?
The Prince-Electors are dignitaries of the Holy Roman Empire who have the right to elect the King of the Romans, who would then be crowned Holy Roman Emperor by the Pope. Rupert took the title for himself with the help of 3 other Prince-Electors, even though Wenceslas had already been appointed. Some of the nobility in the empire recognized Rupert's claim, but when he went to Rome to be crowned emperor, it turned into a fiasco. Now he's doing his utmost to get Wenceslas to acknowledge him, but so far without success. So, now we have 2 kings of the Romans. Jobst sided with Sigismund for a while, but now he's switched allegiance. He seems to do that quite a lot.
That young man, Sir John of Liechtenstein. Why is he here?
The Liechtensteins are a powerful Austrian family with estates in Austria and Moravia. Sir John sits on Jobst's council. Since the king's being held captive in Vienna, I suppose it makes sense to have a powerful Austrian house as allies. It could be very useful.
That's about all.
Very well. Take the letter from Sir Hanush. And good luck, son. So what do you think of it all, Sir Divish? I think I don't know what to think. That makes 2 of us. If I didn't know anything about Jobst,
I believe we have written it well, gentlemen.
Without a doubt. No one could deduce from this whether we are Sigismund's allies or foes.
I must travel back to Brno now, but soon I will go to Brandenburg and I will stop here on the way back. By then, Sir Capon should be back and we can discuss how to proceed.
Right. Before you leave, my lord, there is one thing that gives me no rest. Why did Sigismund come as a foe? It makes no sense.
If I may, sir, I think I can explain.
Oh, please enlighten us, young sir.
I live not far from Hungary, where Sigismund reigns. It is a savage country, and the constant war with the Turks has hardened the people. They need a monarch with an iron hand. So when Sigismund felt the wind of revolt, he reacted as he would at home. Only what works on the Hungarian nobles does not work here in Bohemia.
Bringing order is one thing, but slaughtering and pillaging with a horde of barbarians quite another. What purpose does that serve?
But Sigismund did give the Bohemian nobles a chance to take his side. It was only when they refused his ultimatum that he lost patience and took to the sword.
As for the barbarians, he could afford nothing better. The Hungarian nobility would gain nothing from joining his campaign in Bohemia. He didn't have enough coin for a regular army, and so he recruited the Cumans. What he does not pay them, they make up for in plunder.
But in the end, he didn't have enough to even satisfy the Cumans. That's why he raided Gutenberg and Skalitz. He wanted the silver.
That makes sense.
My lords, how's the letter coming along?
It's done.
Then we can be on our way.
Now remember what we said, boy. All you have to do is deliver the letter, listen to the answer, and come back here. Don't provoke Berghoff in any way.
Provoke? Me? Never, Uncle. We'll be back in a few days. Farewell, your graces. Come, Henry, my men are waiting.
I wish you Godspeed.
Come now, Hal. My men are mustered in the courtyard. We can get going.
Go away, leave me alone. I've got something for you. I know this is your favorite.
It is indeed. Wouldn't you like to take a stroll somewhere?
In this weather? Let's leave it for another time, eh?
Well?
Why?
Such are my orders.
For God's sake, don't...
Yeah.
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 Ow! Learn how to ride a horse, idiot!
God be with you, lad. God be with you.
Sir Capon didn't want to wait for you any longer, sir, so he left to go hunting. He said they'd wait for you in the camp by the road, near Neuhof.
Yeah. 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 Yeah.
It cost me a lot of effort, but it seems I've finally succeeded in making a half-decent warrior out of you. Anything I can do for you?
Well, young sir, what now? Shall we ride boldly forth to adventures new?
I never took you for a romantic soul. But as it happens, a romantic soul is just what I need by my side right now.
What, here? Now? Aren't we leaving?
Ah, that's just the thing. Here we are, about to ride off into the unknown. Well, who knows what fate has in store for us? What if we should fall as heroes on the battlefield? How could I depart this world with a quiet heart, never having known true love?
I'm a little worried about you, sir. Aren't you getting overheated inside that armor?
Look, I can't just go off and get my head chopped off somewhere without first winning the heart of the girl I love. So are you going to help me or not?
Oh well. The sooner we get it out of the way, the sooner we can get going.
Not to worry, Henry. Your role in this affair is of the utmost importance.
What role?
You, Hal, shall be my messenger of love. You shall bear her a letter and a gift from a secret admirer.
Why me? It's not like you to be bashful, Sir Hans. You can just go and tell her,
Certainly not. Carolina is different to the others. She was educated in a convent and needs to be handled with kid gloves. Romanced. I must court her secretly. It's the latest fashion in France.
And who is this Carolina?
The fairest maid that ever walked the earth. Carolina. The butcher's daughter. You must have noticed a divine creature in the marketplace. Unless you're more interested in barnyard animals.
Carolina. I do know her. She's a pretty girl, all right, but, well, a little below your station.
Love knows no station but the heart. And you keep your peasant eyes off her. Your task is simple. All you have to do is get hold of a necklace fine enough to grace her lovely neck. I did have one that I inherited from my great-grandmother. Unfortunately, not anymore.
What happened to it?
I lost it playing dice at the inn. But you'll get it back for me. You're a smart lad. I'm sure you'll figure out a way. And I'll reward you handsomely.
Oh, all right then. Is there something else I should know about this necklace?
I lost it at dice in the Ledechko tavern when I was there to see... Well, that's not important.
So, some dice player from Ledechko won your grandmother's valuable necklace. Haven't you learned anything from losing to Zdena, the bathhouse wench?
My great-grandmother's. And as it happens, I have learned a trick or two. But that fellow has the luck of the devil. No doubt he'll still be sitting there, swindling other folk out of their hard-earned groschen.
Oh, what's the use? All right, all right. I'll go to Ledechko, find this diabolical dice player and see what I can do. Though I'll probably lose my shirt to him.
Well, there's more than one way to skin a cat.
God be with you.
I hope I can be of help to you, knight.
Are you the one who played dice with Lord Capon?
Played and won, lad. Fine noble he may be, but he can no more throw dice than I can read Latin.
I can't disagree with you there. But look here, have you still got that piece of jewellery you want from him?
No, I don't. Some noble rode through here and we had a game or two. Only them dice kept falling his way. I was lucky to keep my boots. He's got the necklace now.
Can you tell me anything else about him?
Fine gent he was, well dressed, on horseback. Had quite a lot to say. Seems he saw a bit of the world. And he had some interesting looking dice.
You said they fell well for him?
Aye, no wonder. Fine dice they was, made special. All shiny and whatnot.
Did you know where this fellow was heading?
He was waiting for someone here, but when they didn't show up by midday, he rode on. He mentioned something about camping by the bridge over the Sasau River. That one before the charcoal burners camp. You might still catch him there with a bit of luck.
There aren't many fords along the river on the way to Sasau. That's all I need to know.
Very well.
هیچ کلا داده
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
You after something? I'm afraid my friend here won't tell you much.
Your friend? Oh, I'm very sorry. And, well, I don't want to be insensitive, but I was hoping to get something from him. My master's necklace, which he won at dice.
Your master? Who would that be?
Well, Sir Radzig Kobyla of Skalitz is my liege lord. I'm Henry, but just now, I'm helping Sir Hans Capon with a private matter.
Those are weighty names in these parts. I'm Sir Anselm of Domkey, in the service of... well, that's not important. I'd like to give you... that is... I'd like to ask you for your help.
I'm listening. Tell me what you know.
I will. And I'm sure it will help you find that necklace. The thing is, this is all my fault. I got held up on the way to meet Alphonse. By the time I got here, I found him like this.
God have mercy on his soul.
Amen, lad. I was heartbroken and enraged by turns, tearing my hair and cursing. Alphonse was my good friend, and it pains me to know he was only here on account of me. I brought him into a certain business matter to negotiate with some people, and he agreed. And this is how it ended up. When I finally pulled myself together, I took a look around and found some tracks. I followed them to the camp of those very brigands that Alphonse was supposed to negotiate with.
Nah, you can't trust anyone these days. So how can I help?
You can pass yourself off as Alphonse. Get into the bandits' camp and find that fucking murderer. And when you do, you'll find what you're looking for.
What do you know about the brigands in that camp?
Actually, they're not just ordinary bandits. It's a robber baron and his band. Sir Erhard Baron Bielowitz. Some of his vassals and maybe some commoners. They came here in the hope they'd have a better chance of keeping their heads.
Why don't you ask some of the local lords for help? I'm sure the Sasau custodian would lend you a few men.
There's nothing I'd like to see more than the lot of them strung up. Only I have a task that conflicts with that. And as for the custodian, I'm pretty sure Sir Sebastian is in league with Erhard.
What was the purpose of Sir Alphonse's negotiations? I'll need to know that.
Look, Henry, you'd best avoid that subject if at all possible. Just find the murderer for me, get your necklace, and I'll take care of the rest.
It'll be a bit hard to avoid that, since it was supposed to be the entire purpose of his visit.
True. Well, Alphonse was supposed to talk Erhard into moving his robbing raids towards Benishov, especially holding up merchants' wagons heading for Prague. In return, he was to offer a reward of up to 12,000 groschen and safe haven in Pilgrims.
I see. So you work for someone in Pilgrims?
No, neither Pilgrims nor Benishov. Nor Vlachim, for that matter. It's a bit complicated. Damn politics.
My word. The whole thing sounds like quite a twisted affair.
So are you going to help me?
I'll help you. I'll have to go there to look for the necklace anyway, and this seems as good a way as any.
Thanks 1,000-fold. And for the love of God, don't get caught. I'd never forgive myself if another man lost his life on my account. If it starts to look risky, take to your heels.
I'll bear that in mind. Looks like he died without a struggle. Maybe killed in his sleep. They took everything he had. Money, jewelry, even his boots. Someone was searching for something here. Were they out to rob him of everything he had? Or something in particular? Could it be someone was trying to get rid of something here? Would I be right in assuming this is the encampment of Sir Erhard, Baron Bielewitz?
You must be Sir Alphonse, eh? All the way from Prague, eh?
Prague, yes, quite. But I travelled via Gurim, thinking it the less hazardous route, comparatively.
Oh, aye. The roads ain't safe at all these days. There's all sorts of rabble waiting to rob unwary folk and even kill them.
Indeed, indeed, I concur. One must be wary, well, cautious even, when travelling.
Right then, but you'll have to wait a while. Sir Erhard is busy at the moment.
No matter, I shall just,
but it's easy to pass the time here. There's always a dice game going on, with nice things being wagered. I had my eye on a fine pair of gauntlets and some old piece of jewelry.
Jewelry, you say?
That's right. Just go and see old Blaha, the fellow sitting at that table there. He can read, write, and do sums as good as any scribe, and other things, too. He keeps things in shape here a bit.
Thank you. I may well do that.
Fucking weather, fucking tents, fucking camp. I've had enough of this shit.
Can I ask you something?
Ask away.
That's all. Can I have a word with you?
What do you want?
What's your story? You don't look like one of them at all.
I ain't, true enough. I'm a local. I don't go raiding with them. When they're here, I just look out for them, bring them supplies and that.
And what do you do when they're not here?
Whatever's needed. But being the go-between for them that set up the ambushes pays well. And you don't have to risk your neck for it.
Can you tell me something about the camp here?
This place? It's been there as long as I can remember. I used to come here as a youngster to play with my mates. Anyway, one time I had to lie low for a bit, so I came here and ran into these gentlemen, who pay good coin when you bring them some wine and a bit of grub.
Why did you have to disappear?
Nothing terrible. Just that I was courting this one girl, only her old man and her brothers didn't take to me. Besides which, she was promised to some rich merchant. Once they had her married off, they forgot about me, though.
I'll leave you to it.
Fucking tents, fucking camp. I've had enough of this shit.
Look out.
What a shitty day. I need a good scrap to cheer me up. No one to rob. So
Can I ask something?
Oh?
Can't drink no more today. You get any extra fee? These are too small.
Who are you?
They call me Noggin. I'm Sir Erhard's vassal.
Pleased to make your acquaintance.
Likewise. Sir?
Why are you hiding out here?
We're not hiding. We're just...
Well, couldn't you rest from your profession just as well in Sasau?
What's Sasau got that we don't have here?
Have you been out of the camp recently? Maybe down by the river?
Why would I? We've got an outhouse here.
Yeah. What about the others?
Why would they? There's water here, game in the woods, supplies enough. What else could a man want?
That's all I need to know.
So tired.
I'd like to ask you something.
Ask away.
You're Mladotter, right?
I am. Why'd you ask?
Just curious. This is quite an interesting retreat you men have here.
You could put it that way. I ain't been here long though. I helped them out of a tight spot and they took me with them.
Is that right? How did that happen?
Well, I was lying in wait for this wagoner, see? Because he'd been mouthing off about me, so I figured I'd take all he had for compensation. Anyway, I'm hiding there in the bushes and I hear this wagon coming, so I jumped out to ambush him. Only it wasn't that wagoner, but some merchant. As soon as he saw me with my weapon drawn, he started screaming bloody murder, and next thing, his armed escort comes charging up and I was the one ambushed. The injustice of it.
Vexing indeed.
Aye. Anyway, they caught me and took me with them. They figured I was Sir Erhardt's spy, and they wanted me to lead them to him. Of course, I told them I didn't know what the fuck they were on about. So, while they were threatening to break me on the wheel, string me up and what have you, along comes the Baron with his merry band, and they lay into the soldiers and send them running for the hills. And ever since then, I've been riding with them.
That is quite an entertaining anecdote.
Ain't it just? If it hadn't been for me, the fellas would have run straight into a trap and it'd all be up with them. So, it's on account of me, they're still alive.
And how are things here? Do you get away much?
We ain't allowed to leave. So I've been here the whole time. I don't mind though. There's always something to pass the time. And we've got that wench.
That's all.
Fucking please. Like it's the first time you got them. You must be used to itching by now.
I'll never get used to this.
Try washing yourself once in a while.
You wash yourself. My granddad's brother drowned bathing in a pond. I'm not taking the risk. I only wash when it's raining.
You must be chasing women away with a stick.
You bet. They can smell a true man. Camp life short.
I was told I could have a game or two here until Sir Erhardt has time to see me.
Aye, he's got his hands full at the moment. You must be Sir Alphonse, eh? I'm Blaha, Sir Erhardt's servant. I take care of things here a bit.
Including dice? It has come to my attention that there are interesting things being wagered.
True enough. We've got a fine pair of plate gauntlets, 2 necklaces, one of them's a lovely piece, a good sharp sword, and some other things, I don't remember what. The custom here is if you want to play, you've got to wager something to join.
Far be it from me to disrespect established custom.
Thank you, sir. Good luck.
Thanks.
You want to play right away, or...?
Why wait? I'll play now.
No beating around the bush. That's the way. You'll play against Noggin now. He's not the brightest, and he ain't a good loser.
What a she did. I need a good scrap to cheer me up.
I've got a pen almost sober again.
Yeah, I'm gonna get soaked. What else is there to do?
So tired.
I gotta piss.
We're gonna get sucked. What else is there to do here?
Get any extra beef? These are too small.
Sorry, I traded them for booze yesterday. You'll get new ones soon enough.
I'll take them off the first idiot that crosses our path.
With your luck, it's gonna be a beggar monk. No shoes at all.
Don't even say that. Seriously, I'd seen her go barefoot and have to fight these turd skins.
I'm sorry, I need my crew. I'm sober again.
Camp life sure ain't easy. Fuck.
Filth and stink everywhere. Stay home. Fucking weather, fucking tents, fucking
No one
camp.
to rob here.
I've had enough
Fucking
of this
boy.
shit.
Killing, fighting, never losing, robbing fucking whores and boozing. Take the women, burn the village, drink, annihilate and pillage. Burning, wrecking, making strife, hustle, it is a robber's life. You get any extra beats? These are too small.
Sorry, I traded them for booze yesterday. You'll get new ones soon enough.
I'll take them off the first idiot that crosses our path.
With your luck, it's going to be a beggar punk with no shoes at all.
Don't even say that. Seriously, I'd sooner go barefoot than have to fight in these turd skins. Tense. Fucking camp. I've had enough of this shit. I'm so tired.
Rivers of blood and a bloody flood.
What did you used to do before all this?
You wouldn't believe me.
I was a sentry at Rattay, but they paid chicken for you.
So hungry.
I joined up with this lot instead.
You? Sentry? You're having me on.
Nah, it's true. So now it's your turn. What did you do before?
Well, I made candles for a monastery.
You're a fucking cheat. Sir, I challenge you to a duel.
I won't take any accusations from you. I accept.
What's going on there?
What? You can go. And don't ever come back.
All right. Thank you.
What's that? Wash yourself once in a while.
You wash yourself. My granddad's brother drowned bathing in a pond. I'm not taking the risk. I only wash when it's raining.
You must be chasing women.
I want to play dice. Who will be my opponent?
They fell your way last time, and no mistake. You'll play Berta. He's a man, but they call him that for some reason. Damned if I know why.
so hungry I could eat my food.
No one to rob here. Fucking boring. Fuck, I'm almost sober again.
I gotta piss.
Fucking tents, fucking camp. I've had enough of this shit.
Rivers of blood and the blood. Gotta piss.
Filth and stink everywhere. Should have stayed home.
What a shitty day. I need a good scrap to cheer me up.
I just want to eat and sleep. I'm fucked. Fucking lice. Fucking fleas.
Like it's the first time you got them. You must be used to itching by now.
Never get used to this.
You wash yourself once in a while.
You wash yourself. My granddad's brother drowned bathing in a pond. I'm not taking the risk. I only wash when it's raining.
You must be chasing women away with the sticks.
You bet. They can smell a tree, man. Fucking sick head. Can't drink more today.
Fucking sick head. I'll drink no more today.
Filth, stink everywhere. Should have stayed home.
I'm so tired.
Yeah, I'm gonna get soaked. What else is there to do here?
So tired.
Camp life sure ain't easy. Fuck.
Killing, fighting, never losing, robbing, fucking whores and boozing. Take the women, burn the village, drink and annihilate and pillage.
Boring.
Burning, wrecking, making strife. How sweet it is, a robber's life.
I want to play dice. Who will be my opponent?
They fell your way last time, and no mistake. You'll play against Maladota. He's a bit... well... you'll see for yourself.
Fucking weather, fucking tents, fucking camp. I've had enough of this shit.
Earhart will receive you now.
I'm so hungry, I could eat my boots.
Fucking lice, fucking fleas.
Like it's the first time you got them. You must be used to itching by now.
I'll never get used to it.
Try washing yourself once in a while. But
You wash yourself. My granddad's brother drowned bathed in a pond. I'm not taking the risk. I only wash when it's raining.
You must be chasing women away with a stick.
You bet. They can smell a true man.
Should have stayed home.
So hungry, I could eat my boots.
So tired.
So tired.
Rivers of blood and a bloody flood.
And there's bastards like him there are in the world of better. I gotta piss. Filth and stink everywhere. Should have stayed home.
Fucking lice. Fucking fleas.
Like it's the first thing you got. You're used to it, you by now.
I'll never get used to this.
Try washing yourself once in a while.
You wash yourself. My granddad's brother drowned bathing in a pond. I'm not taking the risk. I only wash when it's raining.
You must be chasing women away with a stick.
You bet. They can smell a tree, man.
Fucking weather. Fucking tents. Fucking camp. I've had enough of this shit. Gotta piss. What a sneaky bastard. He stole the traitor's tinderbox and horse of mine. Put the blame on the traitor. But he got caught in the act and hanged. Good thing, too. The less bastards like him there are in the world, the better.
Sober again. I'm so hungry, I could eat my boots.
Filth, stink everywhere. Should have stayed home.
Fucking weather, fucking tent, fucking camp. I've had enough of this shit.
No one to rob. Fucking boring.
Fucking sick.
I want to play dice. Who will be my opponent?
They fell your way last time, and no mistake. Then there's Pekuna. He's a local fellow who brings stuff for us. He put up a nice necklace as his wager.
No one to rob here. Fucking boring.
Filth and stink everywhere. Should have stayed home.
I gotta piss.
I'm so hungry I can eat my boots.
Yeah, I'm gonna get soaked. What else is there to do here? Filth and stink everywhere. Should have stayed home.
Yeah, I'm gonna get soaked. What else is there to do here? Get any extra beats? These are too small.
Sorry, I traded them for yours yesterday. You'll get new ones soon enough.
I'll take them off the first idiot that crosses our path.
But you're lucky to be a beggar punk with no shoes at all.
Don't even say that. Seriously, I'd sooner go barefoot than have to fight turtles.
Camp life sure ain't easy. I just want to eat and sleep. And fuck. Camp life sure ain't easy. Fuck.
Rivers of blood and a bloody flood.
I gotta piss.
What a shitty day. I need a good scrap to cheer me up.
What a shitty day. I need a good scrap to cheer me up. I gotta piss. Fucking sick, lad. Can't drink no more today.
Lord, what have I done to deserve this?
Fucking weather. Fucking weather. Fucking camp. I've had enough of this shit.
I just want to eat.
Fucking camp. I've had enough of this shit.
What a shitty day. I need a good scrap to cheer me up.
Rivers of blood and a bloody flood.
No one to rob here. Fucking boring.
How did I do? Have I won?
Well now, Sir Alphonse, you took 'em all by storm. Here's the key to the prize.
Thank you kindly.
Yeah, I'm gonna get soaked. What else is there to do here?
Killing, fighting, never losing, robbing, fucking whores and boozing. Take the women, burn the village, drink, annihilate and pillage. Burning, wrecking, make...
What's going on here anyway? It all seems a little...
Haven't you ever been in the camp of a merry band of robbers?
Never quite this merry, to tell the truth.
They've got their loot, and now they want some fun. Booze, dice, and women. I'm the only girl here. They're more interested in dice, anyway. And boozing. And they're no fun at all.
Well, they seem very fond of their dice, all right.
Aye. They always play the same way. Every player bets his most valuable piece of loot. And the winner takes all. It ends in a fight most times. Although it's a long time since anyone got killed over it.
I better watch my step then.
You do that, handsome. It'd be a shame to spoil that pretty face.
I'm gonna get soaked. What else is there to do here? No one to rob here. Rivers of blood and a bloody flood. Think everywhere. I'm gonna get soaked. What else is there to do here? Fucking weather, fucking rain, fucking sun. I've had enough of this. Think everywhere. Should have stayed home. Yeah, I'm gonna get soaked. What else is there to do here?
Oh.
What the?
God be with you, lad.
I've got that necklace.
Excellent news! I'm not going to ask you how you did it. Here's a reward for you. Now you can carry on with your next task. I want you to sneak the jewellery into Carolina's trunk along with this letter.
Can't I just hand them to her?
You cannot! Under no circumstances must she find out who sent them. Otherwise the whole secret admirer ploy is fucked. Oh, and by the way, Henry, watch out for the butcher. He keeps a very close eye on his daughter, and if he catches you sniffing around, well, may all the saints preserve you. Once you've delivered the things, wait a day, and then come back and see me. Good luck then.
Could do with a bite to eat.
Ah, a thief! He's stealing here! Guard, come here, quick! There's a thief over there!
Hey,
I see a thief! Guard! Thief!
Don't move a finger. You were seen in the act of... Well, you won't forget this.
Look, I'll tell...
Well...
Huh? You! What the hell are you fooling around here for? Be off right now, or I'll fucking see you.
Greetings. What do you need?
I delivered the things as you asked.
I already know. My spies told me everything. She was wearing the necklace this morning, as I asked in the letter.
So you'll go to the rendezvous with her?
Certainly not. I'm not going to pounce on her like a bull in rutting season. Her feelings must be allowed to mature gradually. Meanwhile, you'll get a potion for me.
I thought you didn't believe in witches' brews.
This is no witch's brew. It's an absolutely tried and tested elixir called Musk of Infinite Allure. There's a fellow in Sasau who sells it, and he guarantees its success.
Musk of Infinite Allure? Sounds irresistible. All right, I'll try and get it for you.
I'm sure I can rely on you. Here's some coin for your cost. God be with you.
Cucumbers, lovely
Salami,
cucumbers, asparagus and prunes.
My pleasure. Get out of here! Here you are, and good health.
Get out of here. To good neighbors.
I've heard you know of some irresistibility potion or whatever it is.
Ah, naturally. Musk of infinite allure. An age-old recipe, maybe even older. Tested by Moses himself.
Moses?
How do you think he managed to get his people to follow him through the desert for 40 years? It's extremely potent.
Yeah, so it would seem. How much do you want for it?
Who do you take me for? The wisdom of the ancients isn't something that's bought and sold in the marketplace. Did Jesus charge for his miracles? But since you ask, how about this much?
That's not much.
Really? All right, double then.
What? Why? Oh, why do I even bother?
If you like, I can mix the elixir for you. This is a matter that demands experience and knowledge of the philosophical arts that only a few possess. It's not a task I can trust to just anyone.
But to your apprentice, you can, right?
See, you read my mind.
Hail for Mother of God, he's back again.
About that recipe.
Yes, you want to...
Yes, I need it right away.
I understand.
But I won't be drinking it. About those other... I'll get looking for...
Coming?
Babe. Are you keeping me?
I've got something for you. I hope you won't need...
Thank you. Wouldn't you like to take a stroll somewhere?
I'd love to.
Listen, Theresa. There's something I ought to tell you.
What is it? What's troubling you?
I'm not quite sure how to tell you, so I'll just spit it out. So Radzig Kobyla is... my father.
And King Wenceslaus is my cousin. You really had me going.
No, I'm serious.
What? But, Henry, how on earth could...
I know, it was a shock for me too. It turns out Sir Radzig and my mother had some... romance. Of course, he couldn't marry a commoner.
And your father? I mean the blacksmith. God, that sounds so odd. I mean Martin.
He knew Sir Radzig from way back. Martin... Pa married her before I was born, to protect her reputation, and raise me as his own.
And Sir Radzig allowed it?
Sure. Actually, I get a feeling the whole thing was agreed between them. Sir Radzig was glad she wasn't left alone with a child.
My God, Henry, that's just... And what will that mean for you?
I honestly don't know.
You don't know?
Well, it all depends on Sir Radzig, doesn't it? As his illegitimate son, I don't have any rights as such. Well, it's not like I've suddenly become a noble like Capon. And even though Sir Radzig has publicly acknowledged me, well, sort of, it hasn't really changed anything.
And if Sir Radzig decided to make a real noble of you, would you want that?
Me become a noble? Fine clothes, hunting, drinking wine from a gold goblet, and stuffed pheasant for breakfast? Ha! Of course! Who wouldn't want it?
I think there's a little more to it than that, Henry. You'd have huge responsibilities.
True. But anyway, it's not important what I want. A bastard will always be a bastard.
I don't know. All sorts of things can change. Would you still care for me, a common millmaid, if you were a nobleman?
Of course. I'll always be fond of you. Nothing will change that.
I'll remember that. I hope you won't regret those words.
No fear of that.
Home already. See you another time then.
Oh, God. Eat. Food. Are you ready, Sir Hans?
Henry, something's gone wrong.
Open up. I'm not going to talk to the door.
That potion tasted rather odd, and now I have a feeling my face is broken out. How do I look?
No offence, sir, but you gave me quite a fright. It looks as though you've slept with your head inside a wasp's nest.
God's holy breeches, I knew it! And it's nearly time for my rendezvous with Carolina. What am I going to do?
Surely you're not going to give up on account of a few pimples. If Carolina doesn't appreciate your charm, she's not worth the effort.
Do you think she will? Even though I've got a face like an arse?
Ah, you'll sweep her off her feet. You'll see.
All right, Henry. I'll do it. Let's go. Tell me, Henry, how many girls have you had in your life? If you've had any at all, that is.
Well, there's been a few, but I'm sure I can't compare with you.
Ha! Very true. One day plays will be written about my amorous adventures.
Comedies or tragedies?
That might depend on how things go tonight. There's another very pretty girl living in this house here, but she's already got a suitor.
Since when has that ever bothered you?
Since the time her fellow threw me headfirst into a dung heap and kicked my arse for good measure.
It seems your future subjects don't hesitate to take a stick to you when it comes to minding the womenfolk.
I doubt he would have done it if he recognized me. I was, incognito. We're almost there. You'll hide behind a gravestone or in the bushes and don't budge from there. Otherwise you might scare her off.
Hide, Henry. Time to get started. How do you know it's her who will come out and not someone else?
She got the letter and necklace, didn't she? She knows that that is, her secret admirer is coming.
And what am I supposed to do?
What do you think, dolt? Prompt me from that book of poetry.
Who's there? I can't see you.
Your most ardent admirer, fair maid.
Uh-huh. And do you have a name?
What's in a name? That which we call a rose by any other name would still be a flower, wouldn't it? Start. How?
What are you saying? I can't hear you.
Gentle night, why linger on? I yearn thus for my love so long. Without her words to still my breast, who shall set my soul to rest?
Gentle night, why linger on? I earned this from my love so long. whip out your worthy silky breasts. Who shall suck my salty bits?
No! And now my heart in sorrow dwells, from melancholic pining swells, since I, alas, was forced to part from the mistress of my heart.
I know my horses sort of well, some alcohol from 9 to 12. Seems I always have whores apart from the mistress of my heart.
Psst! What on earth are you saying?
What's that hissing?
It's, a feral goose here in the bushes.
Ah, Lord, let me not wait in vain. I long to see my love again. O gentle sir, be of good cheer. I shall not cling to another dear.
Landlord, let me not wait in vain. I long to sing and laugh again. O gentle sir, get off your chair. I shall not bring you another beer.
Jesus, Henry! What kind of yokel nonsense are you babbling? Me? You're the one who's babbling?
You're an odd one. I've never heard such peculiar poetry in my life. Where on earth did you come up with it?
It's the latest fashion in France.
You've done enough harm. Better shut up and leave it to me. How did you like it, dearest?
Ah, how tender you are. Father is coming! Hide!
Who was that talking? If it's some dandy again, I'll gut with my filleting knife.
I didn't hear anyone.
Did you hear what he said? But I have a bad feeling about this, Hans. I think we should...
Are you still there?
Still here, my love. How could I have apart from you?
Father's coming! He'll kill you!
He will not. Because it'll never cross his mind where I'll be. Henry, it's time for me to claim my prize. Whatever happens, cover my back.
There you are, you seducer! Now you'll see how a butcher protects his daughter's honor.
Buy me time.
You got some explaining to do, you bastard!
What are you after, you bastard, sneaking around an honest citizen's house in the dark?
I went to mourn over the grave of my great-grandmother.
Oh, yeah. Then what are you doing right beneath my window, eh?
Now, the question is, why are you trampling on great-granny's grave, eh?
Enough of your horse shit. One more word, and I'll have you.
You really came!
How could I not, my dearest?
Not so fast, Prince Charming. But, since you're here...
Hey, what was that?
What was what?
That noise. I'm sure I heard a strange noise.
We're here in the cemetery. Maybe restless spirits, what do you reckon?
I'd swear it came from the window of my own house.
What's that got to do with me?
Someone's been creeping around after my daughter. I come out, and I find you here. Quite a coincidence, eh? So, out with the truth.
You're quite mistaken. I've never laid eyes on your daughter, and if she looks anything like you, I'd rather keep it that way.
Why, you fucking...
Mon petit lapin.
There's a lace here. Untie it.
Don't try to make a fool of me. I heard it clearly. What was that?
Are you all right? It seems to me you're hearing things other folk can't hear. That's not good.
You're saying I'm hearing voices in my head?
Well, that's not necessarily a bad thing. St. Euphrosyne of Polotsk heard voices too, and she founded a monastery and churches and things.
I heard voices too. Well, could have been voices. I wouldn't swear to it, though.
Look, fellas, I was standing right here, and I didn't hear a thing. Do you take me for a madman?
Whatever you are, I want to know what you're doing under my daughter's window and who was talking to her. I heard it clear as day.
Good neighbour, it can't be denied that old age dulls a man's ears. I'm here alone, praying for the souls of the good people resting in the cemetery. I've nothing to do with your daughter.
That voice sounded different to yours, though. But where did he get to? You must have seen him. Unless you're covering for him.
Yes.
Oh.
Yes.
Yes.
Maybe I did hear something. Now, where could it have come from?
From that window right over your head. I've been saying it the whole time. Someone's sneaking in after my daughter, and you're covering for him. Well, you're for it, the pair of you. You'll get the hiding of your life.
Over here.
Take that!
Enough is enough. I'm really sick of upstart. This definitely won't.
Oh well. Greetings. What do you need?
How did it go with Carolina, Sans?
Henry, it was the most wonderful night of my life. She was completely entranced by my courting. I hardly had to touch her, and she melted in my arms. And then she took me to paradise. It was glorious. It was sublime. Thanks, in part, to you, my faithful henchman and messenger of love. You've earned your reward.
It was an honour, Sir Hans. When are you going to see her again?
Oh, I'm not going to see her again. All beautiful things must come to an end, and, after all, I am a nobleman, and she is the butcher's daughter.
Well, that's how it ends, with the love of your life. After the secret gifts, the letters, the intrigues, reciting poetry in the moonlight.
My eloquence was wasted on her, Henry. Imagine, the silly cow couldn't even read. She returned the letter to me unopened. Here's the letter, Henry. Read it. At least you're capable of appreciating my literary talent. Read and learn from a poet.
See you later.
Oh.
And well, I'm sure we can come to some agreement, your lordship.
Well, bearing in mind, Master Butcher, that we have nothing to come to agreement about yet.
Well, yes, sir. No, sir. Well, I thought I ought to let you know what happened. My daughter's good name could be besmirched, dragged through the mud. And his young lordship's too, of course.
Well, only if she should find us... Only if she should find herself with a permanent reminder.
Well, that could happen yet, sir, couldn't it? If her belly starts to grow. You know how word gets around, and... Well, folk would assume that Sir Hans is the father. Even if some other young fellow was to come along in the meanwhile, and... Well, you know, and we already know. The girl can't be watched.
Are you trying to blackmail me? Have you forgotten that I am the lord of this town, and that you are nothing but a stinking butcher?
Oh, God forbid, sir. I'm just thinking of his young lordship's reputation, and my girl's. But, of course, if his young lordship was to recognize the bastard as his own, and pay for his upbringing...
You can thank your lucky stars you're the only butcher around here. Otherwise, I'd have you out on your ear this very day.
But, sir, I'm only...
Here, take this, you damn scoundrel, and never show your face here again.
Thank you, your lordship. I'm sure this will be enough. Thank you, sir. Thank you kindly.
Blasted fool, Capon. I'll wring his neck. I'll have his balls on a platter!
Look out!
Hey!
Yeah. 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 Yeah.
How about it, Henry? Can we go? Are you ready for this?
Of course. At last I'll get to see more of the country and have a bit of an outing.
Quite. Let's get to it then. I finally have the feeling we're doing something worthwhile. We're helping to save the king.
Instead of saving his drunken majesty, I'd rather find that whoreson who murdered my parents, get the sword back from him, and skewer him with it.
Cheer up, Henry. I have a feeling you'll get your chance one day, and it won't be long in coming. Forward, men! Audentes fortuna juvat!